There are so many dynamics to networking. It's not only about who you know, it's about who those people know and who also knows you. Okay. So it's a lot. I know there's a lot of angles to it, but all these things are important, but it also makes it better because you don't have to know everyone in the whole world. You just need to be connected to people in some way. And I'm going to explain to you the easiest way to get into networks, how to create your own network, and how to just network in general. And all this applies to every type of relationships. This is with significant others. This is for business. This is for friendships, but we're mainly going to be on business because this is what we're on, okay? Networking. First thing that people really don't understand is stop being a weirdo and stop having expectations. This is so important. People go into every situation thinking, but what if it's the one time that I could get it? Nah, you just got to talk and let things happen because they're going to happen or they're not. You can't force everything. You got to be there, try your best, and it is what it is. This is just how it is. This is why you got to just make more. You got to just make more hits. You got to be outside. You got to just be networking. You got to take more chances. Even though I'm doing a tutorial on this, you got to stop overcomplicating it. You need to set these things in your mind and forget them and just learn about humans and talk to people, which sounds kind of crazy and too simple, but that's usually how it works. The second most important thing, this is where I see people fail all the time. This is where people piss me off all the time, is where they just immediately start asking for things. They see who you are or what opportunities you could give them, and they immediately start thinking of what they could get. That's stupid as hell. Why the hell would anyone want to network with someone that's a leech? You don't want leeches. You want people coming with solutions. If you're broke and don't have money yet, it doesn't matter. You could just be charismatic. You could be a good storyteller. You just need to be fun to be around. You could be funny. There's so many different ways because that's also an important asset that people don't have. People are scared to talk. They could be rich and scared to talk to people. They might not know how to navigate certain rooms. If you're a person like that, you're also an asset. It really depends. There's so many different ways on how you could provide value to people and why they'd want to be friends with you. You need to figure out what people need. You need to figure out what they want and how you could fill the void. The way you do this is by asking questions. I naturally ask questions for my job. That's why I'm a master networker. I am curious all the time. I want to know their story. I want to know the things they like. I want to know the things they want. This is how you do sales. This is how you do anything. You got to understand what they want and how you could put yourself into that equation. People don't care about you. They care about their own problems. They care about their own life of things going on. As much as people are nice and do things for other people, they do care about themselves. And that's how you become useful in a network. You need to know how to ask questions and guide a conversation. How do you push it to that point? How do you get to find certain things out? But you would do this as second nature. You don't want to do this where it's weird and awkward. You just have to genuinely be curious and start putting that into your mind. This is just the way you think. This is how you talk. People love talking about themselves, especially people with money. They'll tell you all the stories. After you find out what they want or the conversation flips, figure out how to show your value. Figure out how to put yourself in the void that they need. I'm good at this. I have access to this. I could XYZ to do it. It could be people you know. It could be access to cars. It could be access to boats, girls, houses, anything. Anything that's interesting and scarce that people need or want to be around. It's just so funny because you could have no money and still succeed. You could just be a middleman. I do feel like there's two main sides of innovation and influence where they're both intrigued of the two separate sides and want to be merged together. And I kind of put myself in the middle, making plays happen. Think of an artist on one side and then a tech startup founder on the other. One is pushing innovation. One is pushing innovation too in art and influence, but mostly influence and people and eyeballs. They want to pair these things together. That's how all these products are being made. That's how all this money is being made now. Look at all these influencer billionaire products. We have social media, everything. It's just insane. So there's a lot of plays to be had. There's a lot of things to do. You just got to see where you can fit in and fill the void. This is one of the main things that I've done in every relationship in my life pretty much now because it just makes it so much better. It's just only creating win-wins. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care whatever. Bro, if I'm shooting free stuff for you or we're doing anything, even if it's money, I just want to know that we're both fulfilling our goals. Are we both leading ourselves in the directions we want to go? If we can't align and make something happen, I don't have time to be doing shit like this anymore, because I just see how far things took me by not doing it that way. You need to just get who's on the same wavelength as you, because no matter what, it's going to cause friction, and we don't have time for that. We need speed. We do not want to create friction at all. You need to play the game or get played. Sadly, in business, if you don't move like this, you're going to get used, you're going to get screwed over. You need to be aware of what's going on and go into things with good intentions and learn how to navigate. That is the only way you will survive. I'll tell you that. And people who don't believe it or don't think that's true, I really don't care, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to tell the people who do care and understand what I'm talking about, because it's real whether you want to believe it or not. This is the last thing that people get caught up with. They're scared to cut it. They're scared to lose things, the things that weren't even theirs in the first place, in all relationships. You can't be scared, and you can't have expectations, going all the way back to the first point that I said. You just have to accept things and move on. If it's not a good fit, then it probably would have messed up some shit anyway. So you don't want those vibes. The thing that you got to understand is a lot of relationships are actually long-term plays, and you didn't even think about it. There's so many people that I know that I've met 10 years before or even longer, and they just randomly hit me up. They might see you on the internet one day. They might have a business that might be doing $100 million on something totally different. That doesn't mean it went bad. You got to keep relationships on good terms. If you take things and say yes to things that you know aren't going to work, you're going to just fuck these relationships up forever, and you can't do that. You got to be okay with losing in the short term to gain in the long term. And that's what keeps people stuck. They don't even think about that. And that's all I had to say. I hope some of these things have reminded you so you can use it tomorrow, use it today. And that was it. I don't know. It's the easiest networking tutorial I could have made that's quick for now, yet.